Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are having a great day. The G7 meeting has come to an end. The trading session on Monday will be very fearful as everyone is very confused in the market. What I'm trying to say is the G7 meeting or the ministers actually came out with a little bit of a political answer. That's probably the best answer to give you. G7 ministers agreed to cut gas consumption and speed up the renewable energy. Now that is not all. On the other end, Biden approves Alaska gas exports as critics condemn another carbon bomb. Now before we get into all of this, if you guys are here for the first time, you don't want to stay up to date with everything to do with natural gas, scroll down, tap the red subscribe button. While you're there, slap a like on the video. It will just help the YouTube algorithm push the video out to more people. More people can stay up to date with the latest info. Now you guys know this meeting, which is the G7 meeting, was going to be happening in Japan in the date of 15th and 16th. So pretty much this weekend. A lot of traders of natural gas were looking forward to this meeting as they were going to make the decision in terms of what sort of investment will happen inside of natural gas by the G7 companies or the G7 countries to be specific. Now G7 includes a lot of big countries including United States, Canada, UK, Japan, Germany, and you name it, there are some big ones. Now what the agreement come to is the group 7 rich nations have agreed to call for reducing gas consumption and increasing electricity from renewable sources while phasing out fossil fuels faster and building no new coal-fired plants, France's energy transition minister said on Saturday. Now this is really good if you are against, obviously if you want to make sure that the global change or the whole of the global crisis comes to a little bit of a control, or the climate comes into a little bit of control, this is going to be a good news. But on the other end, they're not actually really following what is being mentioned in this meeting. What I'm trying to say is Biden or the Biden administration just approved of, let's just say, a carbon bomb, or let's just say export of natural gas from Alaska. The Biden admin on Thursday approved exports of liquefied natural gas from Alaska project on a document showed, prompting criticism from the environmental groups over the approval of another carbon bomb. Now a lot of you guys in the comment section will say, Sky, this actually happened before, the actual meeting of G7 happened, which was on Saturday, and this was approved on Thursday. Now that is correct, but on the other end, if you read this, Japan hosted G7 ministers falsely claimed they have ended a fossil fuel finance, leave door open to gas investment. So this was one of the biggest reasons why this meeting was happening, to decide if they're going to be investing more money into natural gas. But they have ended a fossil fuel finance, but they haven't said much about the gas investment, as natural gas investment can still be done by the G7 summit and also the G7 countries. Now energy and environment ministers issued ahead of the next month's G7 Leaders Summit that leaves the doors open for investment in new capacity and endorses fossil fuel-based technology promoted by Japan, this year's G7 host. This is just contradicting themselves, if you guys know what I'm trying to say. They're talking about how they want to save the planet, and that's why they're going to be cutting down on some things which are bad for the environment. But on the other end, the main one, or the main topic that the Japan ministers wanted to talk about is not even really being addressed, as it is still open for investment by the G7 countries. I mean, that's just my take on it. You guys can let me know down in the comment section what you personally think. I feel like it is a little political answer, as they haven't given us a clear indication in terms of what they will be doing with liquefied natural gas. Rather, they're talking about how they're going to start using less fossil fuels to produce electricity, which is, I guess, a little bit better, but at the same time they haven't said much about liquefied natural gas. Now what sort of impact will it have on the price on Monday? Personally, I feel like this will have no significant impact. Maybe we might be able to see a little bit of a push up, because obviously there will be less using of natural gas. Even if they decide to, that will just mean that, hey, there will be less production. If there's less production, same demand, their price will be pumping. Now that's just a little bit of an estimate, but as I mentioned, there's no clear indication in terms of what the G7 countries want to do with natural gas, because that's one of the largest providers of climate change problems in Japan, and they don't want to talk about it, which is really interesting. At the same time, I want to mention, where do I think the price will open? Personally, the last 6 hours on Friday trading session before the market did close on Saturday, I think were quite interesting, as it's not just the fact that the price climbed up, but the reason the price climbed up. It wasn't only because of news, but rather it was actually because of a large amount of buy orders deciding to come in. What does that mean? Does that mean the market is starting to see a little bit of a positive trend into the market? I mean, the super trend is suggesting that, as the last 6 hours was one of the time when the super trend finally flipped the downtrend into an uptrend. If we look at the RSI line, it is also sitting in the middle zone. Could all of this indicate towards the fact that we might be seeing a huge reversal from natural gas from this time forward? I mean, middle of April is pretty much the time when most of the countries start filling up their storages. So could this buy be one of the ways that natural gas price start climbing as the demand will slowly increase? I mean, you can let me know down in the comment section, but that's just how I personally anticipate what is happening with the market. Another thing which is really interesting is awash in toxic wastewater from fracking for natural gas. Pennsylvania faces a disposable reckoning. Now, this is a really interesting topic that they have brought up in this article, and considering it came from Inside Climate News, a grand jury and the EPA has cited potential disposal problems, and activists are fighting new injection wells. Yet the gas industry claims fracking is essential for the state's economy health, and that most of its wastewater is safely recycled. Let's just say Pennsylvania, not many people are happy with how the bad water, or let's just say wastewater, is being put into the environment. Now, gas industry floats plan to switch to renewable. More than 65% of the consumers now are choosing gas hot water system for the new house or renovation, according to the plan. Objections from vegan aside, in future some of the gas to run them could come from a facility similar to one in Gisborne, Australia, about an hour drive from northeast of Canberra. Now, the reason this is a big deal is because you do realize a lot of people are trying to have a renewable source, so it is not bad for the environment. And finally, the price prediction, the big huddle that we will have to face on Monday trading session is going to be $2.23. If we do decide to break above that, as you guys can see, we're sitting close to 2.22. If we decide to break above that, you guys know the RSI line is going to be switching into bullish, and there will be not much slowing the price of natural gas down. Personally, I'm really excited to see how the next week's trading session will react to this G7 meeting. I hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did, drop a like on it. If you're new to the channel, do want to stay up to date with everything, subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. I'm out. Peace.